Morning, good morning, and welcome to Spring Trend of Western Spring Television. Don't worry again, I've not lost my accent. I still know how to speak very good English. My name is Emmanuel Jadigili. Thank you for joining us on Spring Trends on Morning Spring, where we'll bring you who is trending, what is trending, why they are trending, and what people are saying about all of these things. This morning, we start on the political front, and someone has a new identity, may have a new identity. If you take a look at your screen, what you're seeing there is the man called Jagaban. Yesterday, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu was in the news. As you can see on your screen, the man called Jagaban, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, Donald Tinubu, or Bola Duke. Why is this even a question? Let me show you what happened. Now, along the line, former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, says this picture you are seeing that they are calling Asiwaju Bola Ahmed is me. That's what Donald Duke is saying. He's saying, when I was 12 years old, I took this picture in FGC in the north. So the question people are asking on social media now is this Donald Tinubu or Bola Duke? When did Tinubu become Donald Duke? And how did Donald Duke become Tinubu? Let's take the comments. Let's see what people are saying. This first comment is from David Odenyi. David Odenyi is saying, how hilarious is it that West Africa's Week's documentary on Bola Tinubu, which had a budget of $0, had about 35 times the production quality of, you can see the media house there, reactionary propaganda, which labeled Donald Duke's photo as Tinubu, and definitely someone got paid millions for it. Let's look at the next comment. It says, I don't tire for this man, official bat, eh? Why will you go and use someone else's picture again, eh? Abi, you no get childhood picture. Where you even come from, self? These are questions people are asking on social media. You have another comment. Peter Obi for president, MXX for me, says, everyone should guard their childhood pictures jealously. Tinubu and his urchins are looking for any childhood picture to launder his image and show that he had a childhood. Donald Duke is a victim today. Tomorrow may be you. Vote wisely. The next comment we have there says, official Eddie, imagine the level of shamelessness of the APC. Now they've stolen the picture of my former governor, Donald Duke, and dashed it to Bat. God forbid Bat thing. These people never get tired of embarrassing themselves. This one says, Donald Duke should not take it kindly with him. Sue him. You can see the exclamation mark there, asking Donald Duke to sue Bola Tinubu. Taylor Scow says, if you still believe that Tinubu has anything to offer Nigerians, then you are the most miserable and confused. Why are you so angry? Most miserable and confused of all men. His team are working so hard to sell a fraud to the point of stealing the child pics of Donald Duke. Next comment says, I wish I were Donald Duke, but you are not Donald Duke. I will make them dry for identity theft. Who really is this man called Tinubu? And the next comment says, I am the boy in the picture, not Tinubu as they claimed in their documentaries. That photo was taken when I was 12 years old during my school years at the Federal Government College Sokoto in Sokoto State. That's what Donald Duke is saying. The next comment we have there is from this picture. You could tell that this boy will grow up to be taller than 5'8". Tinubu should have used Aki or Popo picture. I mean, what is wrong with Nigerians? Where do you people get this sense of humor from? And Mitchell Targaryen, the last comment on that particular story says, Donald Duke is too handsome to star as young Tinubu. They should have looked for a picture of young Godwin. But I will not take that. That is the governor of my state. Please don't do that. That is still saying that young Adams Oshomole even better. And we know that one won't even refute it. He will go on national TV and swear that the picture is in him. That's what you have. People are asking, who is really this man called Tinubu? Why does he have Donald Duke as his picture? Why does he have Donald Duke as his picture? We'll move on from that to the next story. Like I said earlier, something is cooking. I can smell the new Naira note. I tell you, I've not touched it, but I can smell it. And very soon, I'll be amongst the first set of persons to touch it. Yesterday, the government of Nigeria said President Muhammadu Buhari launches the newly redesigned Naira notes at the State House, Abuja. You can see how colorful it is. That's the tweet from the government house. So now let's show you these new notes. Let's show you what the notes are. You can see on your screen, you have the notes there. Let's take the notes. We have 1,000 Naira. You have 200 Naira. You have 500 Naira. Looking very, very colorful. Now, what are people saying about this note? We take Fisayo Foshudu first. Fisayo Foshudu says he gave us his own design of the note. Yes, Fisayo, I was playing around in Photoshop and came up with this in an hour and 30 minutes. I took inspiration from the 100 Naira note and copied the security chipset on the 50-pound note and added custom Gulichi patterns. That's what Fisayo Foshudu is saying about his own currency change. Ife of Lagos says, now this is what a redesign should look like, not that a direct tie and dye mixed with hue and saturation effect from your camera edit. The laziness in the government to actually work in any sector is shocking. A lot of people have plenty of things to say about this Naira note. This one says they did silhouette challenge on 200 Naira note. God knows how Amadu Bello will be feeling right now. Why bring the dead into this? Let the dead rest. Please, don't be dragging the dead. Senator Shehu Sani says, if it's Naira color, the CBN should have just engaged Snapchat. The CBN should have just engaged Snapchat. Moyo Oluwatuyi says, I get the logic actually. By making the Naira look vintage, it will regain its old value. The international market will think that it's the same as the Naira we were spending in the 80s and 90s when the value was still high. So the value we appreciate. I'm thinking that this is a very sarcastic comment. Moyo Oluwaseyi, please stop being sarcastic. Now we take Pablo Martin. Pablo Martin says, so all because of ordinary filter, they changed our currency. You'll be hearing they used about 13.6 billion Naira in buying those inks they use in filtering the money. That's coming from Moyo Pablo Martini this morning. Lady Lexi is the next on our list of comments. Lady Lexi says, this one that 1K is the color of 50 Naira, 500 is the color of 20 Naira, and 200 Naira looks like 10 Naira color. Sure, these people are not trying to tell us something like this. Well, we want to see what the CBN and the government is telling us with this reaction. Let's move on to the next comment. That cannon shooter. I have a theory that the last batch of money they printed came out defective because of an ink cartridge issue. So they decided to announce a currency redesign so they can launch the defective note as though it is a newly designed and newly printed currency. Again, these are social media opinions. This is not the opinion of this media house. This is the opinion of people on social media who are reacting to what the government has put out. Now, PH Corporate Plumber says, so all this reprinting of Naira Higi Haga going on in the country was just to add color to it, and that's all. Nothing like changing of view size or faces on it. Something that my ex Philomena can do with a Snapchat filter. I'm sure that this guy's ex is either a graphic designer or a slay queen because she's using a Snapchat filter. Now this one, Osun Korede Bankole Eunice. Osun Korede Bankole Eunice says, Kileleyi, it can't be like say tone and finish as them they print them. I mean, Nigerians, with the sense of humor we have, you would think that all is well in this country. The way people react to issues, you think that they don't have problems. Dekunle says, with this new Naira notes from CBN, don't even make the mistake of washing your clothes with money inside it. You will cry tire, era of bleaching Naira. Owo adire, owo Snapchat, owo kiki, hue and saturation. Emefiele, you do this one. You can see the crying emoji there. That's from Dekunle. Yes, the picture you're seeing on your screen. That's from Dekunle, who was saying that if you get this new Naira notes, please, don't wash them with your clothes, because if you do, it might end up staining your clothes. Now, back to the political scene. Yesterday, the ancient city of Ibadan was agog. Why was it agog? A presidential candidate of the Labour Party, LP, Peter Obi, was in Ibadan. If you can see your screen now, you see the video showing there Peter Obi walking into the Liberty Stadium in Ibadan, where he went to campaign and, show up support for his 2023 ambition. Let's take a little bit of that video. Let's see. You can see that brother shining his teeth, probably happy to feature in Peter Obi's video. Yes, Peter Obi and Dati, Senator Dati, his running mate, arriving in Ibadan to campaign for next year. Now let's take the comments. Let's see what people on Twitter said about this particular incident. We'll start with the Labour Party itself. The Labour Party itself made a tweet and said and showed us that the leader of Afenifere, Pa Ayo Adebanjo, is at the Obi Dati presidential campaign rally happening now. That was yesterday in Ibadan, Oyo State. We move. A new Nigeria is possible. Vote Labour Party. The next comment is from Otified Youth Ambassador. Otified Youth Ambassador. Obi is the brand plucked out of fire. That is why Pa Ayo Adebanjo, including men and women of good conscience, are with him in Ibadan for Obidati. We will restore the integrity of our nation. We will rebuild the ruins of our nation. We will repair the streets of our nation. The next comment is from Clofeniramin. Thought they said Ibadan people will not come out. So what's happening here in Oyo State? No Ashoibi, no uniform, no rented crowd. Just people who love and support Peter Obi. And we'll take this from Ogemdi Udegbunam. To be honest, I was never expecting Peter Obi to have much supporters from Southwest State, apart from Lagos. What I'm seeing in Oyo State is very impressive. Another comment, Peter Obi grassroots mobilization says, our incoming First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria in Ibadan, Oyo State. You can see the very beautiful wife. Well, that's the much we can take on our Spring Trends this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms, Western Spring Television. Remember to follow me on Twitter at EM Ojadigile. You can tag me to your trending stories and show me what you want us to amplify on our station. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.